It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And we about to take off with the quick plays and the stick saves. Most entertaining since the old days. This is where the players mold all day. Growing the game with a bold take. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. Boomin'! Steelhawks.
What a finish! JP Boy, that's a highlight and a half. Dalty in the back of the net. The Riverwolves with a clean cut breakaway. Minicello.
It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to
Big
take
save
off.
by Coop.
The Arena Lacrosse League playoffs on the JVI Sports Network.
Hello, lacrosse fans across the continent. Welcome back to the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena on the Six Nations of the Grand River Reservation on the outskirts of Brantford, Ontario for Championship Sunday in the Arena Lacrosse League. 15 weeks ago, 7 teams embarked on a quest to hoist the All Cup. Now we're down to just 2, the Riverwolves out of Paris and the Shockwave from St. Catharines. And when it's all said and done, there will be a new champion crowned here at the ILA. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lance Wynn alongside my broadcast partner, Blair Campbell, working in cooperation with Gary Morrison and JVI Productions. Blair, we got a good one set up here, and when we look at both these two teams, give us a little rundown about what the keys to success might be. We'll start first with the top-ranked Shockwave.
Well, in talking with Ron Henry before the game there, first off, the biggest thing they got to have is a full 60. And the next thing he said to me without even blinking an eye is we can't start the way we did yesterday. We've got to have a quick start. We've got to get good goaltending, and we have to stop their transition because that's one thing that Paris can do. They move the ball well. The biggest word he used in his description of this game is desire. You got to want it. And the one other thing he said is that we mentioned it yesterday on the air. They've got to get Chris Atwood into this game early. He can't wait for the fourth quarter like they did yesterday.
Absolutely right. And how about when we flip things around, let's talk a little bit about Paris. What are their keys to success? They're clearly the underdogs in this game, and David's going to have to try to take down Goliath.
And it's funny you should use the word that you did because that's exactly what Jamie said to me. We're the underdogs. We got nothing to lose. And you know what? Good for him. He realizes it. He's got it in his player's head that that's the situation. And they don't have anything to lose. They weren't expected to be here for one thing. And you know what? From that point on, they've got to have their confidence.
So you're absolutely right, Blair, and we will go with starting goalies for today's game for the Riverwolves. It'll be the veteran Nolan Clayton, a familiar stature between the pipes for this team, and a playoff record of 1-0 with a 12.70 goals against average. At the other end, it'll be, as usual, goaltending by committee with Chase Martin getting the start for the Shockwave. He was outstanding in yesterday's semifinal, having a shutout third quarter. His playoff record is 1-0, and he's got a microscopic 9.56 goals against average. Head coaches for today's championship game. On the Paris bench in his third season, it's Jamie Dubrick. His assistant is Chris Driscoll, and Allie Stewart is in charge of keeping those guys together. She is the trainer, And for the Shockwave, it's Ron Mouser Henry at the helm. He's in his 3rd season. His assistants are Roger Chrysler, Clancy Ames, and Caitlin Armstrong is the trainer. No Hawaiian shirts allowed. Officials for today's game, today's championship game. Blair Ferguson is the crew chief. He's joined by John Watson and Kyle Kropman. So we are set to go here. 14 weeks in the books. It all comes down to one game. And Blair, we've got a good matchup here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these Riverwolves can do.
The only other thing that was said to me by Paris coaching staff is they've got to slow the pace of the game down, not let them get into it, and they've got to hit early and get going early.
Well, you talk about early, and one of the questions on Chris Atwood is his ability to stay out of the penalty box, and right off the bat, not even a minute in, Atwood's going to get a careless penalty, and the Riverwolves will be deliberate here as they will go on a power play early on in this game. Keene out there working with Spencer Pike. He's on the left side in that shooter spot out there, as well as we will see we'll wait for Chris Atwood, who wasted no time jumping into the box from the bench. So the first power play of the game will go to the Riverwolves. They, of course, working at a 46% efficiency rate, and they will have Mike Keene out there as Dan Keene out there as the floor general. Matt Lee is in the right shooter spot. Down low on the crease is Cole Spear. Eddie Renaud over in the left shooter spot, and on that crease, that was Renaud that teed it up on that side with Spencer Pike. Pike having himself a good playoff, and the first pass from Chase Martin looks like he had a hook in his stick. That hook down, and the Riverwolves now will go to work again in the offensive end. 1.5 minutes to go in the power play.
We saw it yesterday. You're not going to beat Martin from 25, 30 feet out. You've got to get in tight on him. He's a big goalie, and he covers a lot of net.
That's for sure. Keene will tee it up off the post. That will go over the timeline, and a reset will be called as the possession will remain right here with the Riverwolves. So some quality shots early on, but you're right, Blair. You have to get in closer if you want to beat Chase Martin. He certainly did a good job yesterday and stymied the Whitby Steelhawks in that 3rd quarter. Shut them right down, gave them nothing. Martin helping out there as it's going to be Holtby that will take it over the line. He'll get it over to Becker, who will swing it over to Brooker Muir. Muir looking for an opening, gets a screen, clearly outnumbers. He will pull it back out and get it over. That shot missing high and wide from Josh Becker. Good job to corral that rebound. Going to have to fire it down. Shot clock winding down. It goes right around the glass. And the Riverwolves now will play it where it lies. So we are just underway here. Championship final. Paris Riverwolves and the St. Catharines Shockwave. The number 1 seed against the number 3 seed. And Matt Lee now will take his stab at the top of the shop here, running this power play. Lee will skip pass down, looking for Cole. Spear, and Spear will swing it over. Pike went with the underhand, goes with the quick shot. Good save there by Martin. Flips up, keeps it in his stick now, and apparently he got that hook removed, and it's Alex Henry now. Big long strides over the timeline. Penalty over, teams back to full strength. Good penalty kill there for the Shockwave. And now it's Brian Neufeld. Neufeld with the flip back. Henry tried to go under. Tried to get that shot off, steered aside by Nolan Clayton. Picked up by Matt Lee. And he's getting hounded by Saul Vanderzalm. But Lee with good speed looking for the flip. Gets it over. Good pass and buried. So a nice job and a perfect feed from Matt Lee. As the Riverwolves strike first, they lead this one 1-0.
Great job by Lee. I thought he was going to get caught there because he kind of waited for the ball to come to him off the backboards. But he got it, and in this situation, I'll tell you what, he did a great job tucking the ball in close to his body and flipping it over.
Well, he certainly made it easy for Ryan Desvaux to get on the score sheet with his first goal of the game, and Paris now jump out to a 1-0 lead. We saw this yesterday, a slow start from the Shockwave against the Steelhawks, and like you said and alluded to, that you got to wait. It's a one game, winner take all. You get off to a slow start, maybe hard for you to recover if you fall down too far.
Well, as we saw yesterday, this Shockwave team, they've got a lot of talent and a lot of scoring ability.
Speaking of which, as you see Johnny Jimerson out there, goes airborne for that. That gets knocked down. And that will be it should be a fresh clock, but not.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Josh Becker, good pass. Jimerson shot, stopped by Clayton. Ball loose in the corner. And a possession call, early contact will go to the Riverwolves. If you're not familiar with the teams, Riverwolves in the white base with the black trim, the Shockwave in the gold base black trim. Brandon Porga will shoot it over to the left side. Eddie Renault with Bill O'Brien on him, and O'Brien picks that up, takes a bump, and the Shockwave are on the move. Atwood trying to jump in the rush. Racing down is Corey Becker. Becker shot stopped by Clayton. Atwood with the rebound again. Clayton standing tall. Riverwolves now will send it up and get it over the timeline. It's a foot race. Scooping that up. The Shockwave have it. They get it over the timeline and flip it. Conveniently right by the back door. Riverwolves now with numbers. And
yes, sir.
You're going to have a too many men call, and Blair, you were all over that.
Naturally, they had numbers. They had 6 guys on the floor. They had one guy didn't get off, and they had 4 guys up front and 2 guys down in the back defensive zone. And I may only have 5 fingers, but that counts to 6.
Listen, I was going to say, I only got you being able to count up to 6, and that's exactly what you did. So good job staying within yourself. I don't want you to.
I had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another one.
Sometimes you got it. I know. I'm known to jump in with the toes too. So power play goes to work. Neufeld shot was sniffing that 5-hole. Clayton closed that up, and now we'll look for the outlet, and he gets that away. It's Marcus Minicello. Minicello's had a solid postseason here for the Riverwolves. Transition player that is out there doing a lot of the dirty work, a lot of the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. First power play opportunity of the game for the Shockwave. They're working at a 51% efficiency rate there, and it's Dustin Gatt now that'll come away with it. Shockwave chock full of specialists in every department needed, including your transition game, your loose ball game, and number 17, Lane Smith, will step in on that left crease. Caleb Wiles out there at the top. Dump down Lane Smith. That pass gets away from him from Neufeld. Josh Medeiros in there hounding. Neufeld hustles to it. Clayton has him pinned down as well. Clayton with a foot in the crease will extend it. And that should take us to our first officials timeout. So right off the bat, Blair, we talked yesterday about the Shockwave maybe dusting off a little bit of rust. No excuse here today. So I guess early on we've got to give the Riverwolves a little bit of credit. So far, Clayton's been solid, and you look at their defense, they too have done a good job.
And they're doing exactly what Dubrick told them to do. Number 1, slow the play down of the game. And number 2, control their ball possession. They've done a good job of it so far, and the only thing that's going to do is bode well for their confidence.
And I think that's key, and I think you're absolutely right. Tempo definitely going to be a key here. You get into a run and gun game with a team like the Shockwave, and you're probably going to lose that battle. Good to see number 99, Dylan LaPrade, in the lineup for the Shockwave. He's one of those guys that will give you 110% every time he steps on that carpet.
And the funny part is, in talking with Mauser before the game, he even said he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to go. It was going to be a last-minute decision.
Coming off an injury, and that pass over the timeline, Brett Albicus, the speedy transition man, will race to it in the corner. He's got it. LaPrade has dropped his stick, but he's still trying to cover Spencer Pike, so he's face guarding him. And you can see Keene will get it over to Pike. Pike now will work. You can only hold him. No call on the play. Shockwave come away with it, and it's Brooker Muir. Muir will think better of it at the moment. And I say that because he can spin off a check and go to the net at any time. Back out to Chris Atwood. Atwood will swing it around. Cody Ward out there. Neufeld. Ward will tee it up. Cody Ward on the board for the Shockwave. We're tied 1-1.
One of the things that they said at the start was they wanted to get Atwood involved in the game. He's already had a penalty. He's doing something that they were talking about before about trying to do something different and leave a guy down deep when they got a man advantage. He's been doing that. About time, great job with the ball, sold the fake of the shot and dropped it in to allow the great shot for the goal.
Got to give Mr. Atwood some credit, of course. He's been very deliberate about changing some of the things he needs to be take his game to the next level. Discipline, of course, being the main one. Good job to get that over the timeline by Travis Burton. And now it'll be Eddie Renault trying to turn that corner. Hesitation move. Renault tries to dive. Good save by Chase Martin. And crease was the call.
And he was 3 feet in the crease when his foot landed.
At the very least, for sure, as Shockwave now will go back to work. Teams at full strength. Neufeld, the quarterback. Looking for a screen. We'll kick it back out. Atwood now will swing it around to the right side. Looking to lean in. Good swim with Anthony Patterson. Good stop by Clayton. Picked up by Jamie McMahon. McMahon now will elude a defender and try to get it over the timeline. Does a good job to get it to Pike. Pike
he
now.
Missed him. He missed him.
Will bounce off a check. Has Alex Henry working him over. Tries to get that shot off. Does. Wide of the mark. And it's picked up. Shockwave looking in transition. They got Vanderzalm on the other side. Can't find him. Couldn't get the pass over Alex Tomas. And they get it now. Vanderzalm will send it back. Tomas battling for it. So the transition D out there playing offense here. And Tomas getting worked over by Rob King and Daniel Wheeler.
Well, Paris is real lucky there because they got away with too many men on the floor. One guy went out the back door too quick. They had 3 guys out working the back door, and there was still 3 in the offensive zone.
Dodged a bullet as Dan Key now will bounce off a check. Good job. Henry playing some outstanding D. Forces 1 turnover. It's picked up, though, by Cole Spear. Spear will come around with a defender on him. They get strong, but I tell you, that's some good defense there. Courtesy DJ Nedelko. Shot clock winding down. Got to get one off. Backhand try from Matt Lee, well wide. Possession will go the other way to the Shockwave.
There's a situation right there with Jamie Dubrick saying we got to control our ball possession. That was not a good shot.
Certainly not the ideal possession you wanted, but either way, Shockwave now leaning in, dodging, bouncing out, kicked out Caleb Wiles. Big shot, Caleb Wiles! Man, he can take it to the iron or he can bury it from outside. His first of the game, 2-1 Shockwave.
And I've talked about it with you before and on the air before about white jerseys, white ball. That was one where Wiles used Travis Burton, used the white jersey, and he put it right over his shoulder. And it is tough for the goaltender to pick up, especially when you got the white boards as well.
So between the white boards and the white jerseys and the white ball, I'm going to leave that one well alone.
Yeah, I think you should.
Off the possession, Shockwave with the ball. We're always taking you teetering on that line all the time because that's 3 Ks in a row. Back to action. That's why we love you, Mr. Ferguson. We sure do, and Mr. Campbell. 2 good friends. Good save there by Clayton now as the Riverwolves trailing by a goal. And they left that pass up. Good job to scoop that up, taking it hard. Good pass and a beauty goal. So how about Spencer Pike, able to keep his feet out of the crease, take an outstanding pass from Minicello, who absorbed the hit in order to allow the goal.
And I'll tell you what, 2 plays on that. Number 1, Clayton leading the guy, throwing it ahead of him, letting him run into it, and coming off the bench with that quick break to get into the open, and he just got the ball to him in time.
I like what Minicello did when he cut to the inside to chase that ball down. Took the right angle, and right off the bat, Drew Quinlan now getting pressured. Dylan LaPrade in there. Contact on the play, incidental, going for the ball. And picking it up, it's Tomas. He'll flip now, and it's Josh Becker. Becker looking for a screen from Lane Smith. Brings it back out. Neufeld looking back to Becker. Becker now will swing it over to the right side. Cody Ward. Dipsy Doodle looking for Patterson. Couldn't find him. Neufeld picked up. Good save by Clayton. Loose ball again. Backhand try over the net. Neufeld had it. Quinlan knocked him down. Picked up by Ward. And now it'll be a reset. Not a reset, but 15 seconds on the shot clock. Working inside. Becker. 2 defenders on him. Good collapsing defense by Josh Medeiros. Riverwolves force a turnover and a headman up. Almost a one-handed grab by Pike. Would have had a clear-cut breakaway. That pass from Martin to Atwood. Atwood now will make things easy and make a pass. Ball always moves faster than the feet. Jimerson. Good pass and a quick shot. Stopped, though. So a good chance from Kyle Pedwell, who had himself a good game, and we're going to have another penalty, a slashing call.
No, it's holding the stick.
I stand corrected, holding the stick, the call, and it looks like it's going to go.
Pedwell, I believe.
On the Riverwolves.
No, it's Pedwell from.
It's Pedwell. It is Pedwell. You're right. So the Riverwolves will go on their second power play of the game.
Well, let's see if they can get the ball moving the way they can, because they've got to get Martin turning, moving side to side on this power play, because they're relying on the outside shots on the power play, and the only way they're going to do it is they got to get him moving side to side and get the defense moving side to side.
Well, we'll see here how efficient they can be, and you're right. They are going to have to certainly utilize all aspects, and similar to a lot of these power plays, everyone gets a touch first before anything occurs, and I expect that same thing to bode well. Shockwave throughout the season, their penalty kill unit, very efficient, 60%. They know how to kill some penalties. Dan Keene, the quarterback this time around.
It certainly helps when you can force the shots to the outside when you got a big goalie like that, too. That helps your penalty
Lee
kill.
out there with Spear on the right side. Keene and Pike. Pike winds up, goes off Bill O'Brien. And no reset on the play, 10 on the shot clock. Eddie Renault out there as well on that left side. So 2 big shots. Keene shot stopped by Martin. Picked up by Bill O'Brien. O'Brien looking to move it up. He's going to have to tuck it and get over that timeline. And he does. Muscles his way over. Bounces off another defender. And again, 2 on him. Loses it. Another battle is Brooker Muir. 2-on-1, Cody Ward. Muir to Ward. Ward diving. Big save, Clayton. Picked up now. Riverwolves will leg it back the other way. Spear will slow it down with just over a minute to go in the power play. Just under 3.5 minutes to go here, first quarter. All championship final. The cup on the line here. Resided in Durham for the last 2 years. It will be west of the GTA this time around. Pike underhand. Chase Martin laid that down perfectly. Made the stop, and now it's Jordan Hopeby. Hopeby legs it over that timeline.
I'll tell you one thing on their power play. Spear's got to end up making up his mind whether he's going to play the shooter or whether he's going to get down on the crease, because he can't play in between the two of them.
That's no man's land. Double team, force a turnover. Good job by the Paris defense. And Matt Lee now will hustle and get it over the timeline and set things up.
15 seconds on the power play here.
Pike will kick it back to Keene. Keene now to Lee. Lee's shot. Good save by Martin. That will go over the timeline, and that's okay with the touch. Penalty now over. So going to have to be heads up. Teams back at full strength. Keene. Keene getting harassed there by Hope. He's all over him. Kicks it back to Porga. Porga now will swing it across left side. Good skip pass. Keene tried to quick stick short side. Martin closed that door. And ball loose. Shockwave battling for it. There's Henry. Henry's going to win this race. Scoop it up off the carpet. And here come the Shockwave. Atwood already where he should be. That pass bad to Neufeld. Couldn't bring it in. Drew Quinlan, though, will pick it up. Get it over the timeline. He's got a head of steam going, but he will curl out. Henry chased him down. And it's back out to the top in Pike.
Ubicus should have split to the other side. He was on his right side, and all he had to do was step 4 steps away, and he's got a wide open shot.
Good spin move there by Albicus. He'll bail out again, though, on the curl out. 5 on the shot clock. Got to hurry. Pike shot wide of the mark. That's going to be a violation. Possession Shockwave. And it's Brooker Muir. Corey Becker out there now with Caleb Wiles. And Atwood, big shot by Becker. Stopped by Clayton. Picked up, though. Good job and good hustle by double sixes. Atwood with McMahon on him. Takes him hard to the iron. Pulls back out. Good pass down to Johnny Jimmerson. Big save by Clayton. I don't even know how he stopped that. And Medeiros now is going to be forecheck. Good job by Pedwell to take it away from him with 40 seconds to go here in the quarter. Jimmerson in there all alone. Will wait now, and it's Lane Smith that joins him. Jimmerson will get it out to Atwood. Atwood will swing it across to Ward on the right side. Ward one-on-one. Quick shot. Good save by Clayton. Game clock winding down to 20. Kicked across. Atwood. Big shot. Stopped by Clayton. Battle in the corner. Ball loose on the carpet. Picked up. Shockwave have it. Still a battle in there. Ball still loose. It pops out. Clayton will haul it in, and he'll hold on to it. That will do it for the opening 15 minutes, and it's been a good one. We are tied 2-2 after 15 minutes, and pretty much as we spoke off the top, again, tempo a key for the Riverwolves.
Right now, if you're Chris Driscoll and Jamie Dubrick, you got to be real happy. You've kept this team to a tie game, and I'll tell you what did he say before? We got nothing to lose. And if you can come out with against the top team in the league who's lost 1 game all year, and you come out with a tie at the end of the first quarter, man, that's got to do worlds for your confidence.
I think you're right, and I think as a coach in this situation, it's key that you play it 1 quarter at a time and don't get too ahead of yourself. Certainly don't get too high on the highs or low on the lows as you put together an outstanding first 15 minutes, but you still have another 45 to go.
I think you can break it down even farther than that as far as they're concerned. They got to play it 1 possession at a time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They can't get ahead of themselves. They've got to keep playing within themselves. And I know that sounds kind of the same, but it's not. They got to play smart. They got to stay within the system that has been working for them all year. And if they can control their possessions, it's going to bode well for them.
Well, I think that's certainly one of the keys that you have to do. And if we look at the scoring summary here after the first quarter, you've got Ryan Desvaux with a goal and Spencer Pike, though you account for the 2 Riverwolves goals. On the other side for the Shockwave, Cody Ward and Caleb Wiles. So certainly the guys that you would have expected. Ryan Desvaux not in the lineup yesterday. So certainly a welcome addition here to Jamie Dubrick and company, because that was big.
I think if I'm Ron Henry over there right now, I'm telling him, guys, get your feet moving. We got to start running, because their game is run and gun, and they're really not doing it right now.
Well, we'll see what happens. We know that yesterday's semi was a tale of 2 halves, and right now, battle with Dustin Gatt working for it. He's knocked off the ball. Ball remains loose. Fished out there, doing a good job and battling for it as O'Brien now will with a hard hit on Rob King. So certainly 2 big guys going at it.
This depends on if he gives him a high stick or not. If it's a high stick, that's 5 minutes.
I don't think that was even near a high stick. I think it was more of a body check, looked like to me, but he caught him near the head due to the positioning. So
now that's what I mean. If he calls it a high stick.
Well, we'll see exactly what our official crew will come up with.
They
and
gave
it is
him 5.
5 minutes. That is the case, and
I didn't see the sign for what the call was, whether it was high sticking, but if he, as we know, if he calls it a high stick, you got no option.
Well, I don't think it mattered. I think it was head contact, and that was the thing either way. 5 minutes would be the right call, even though I don't think O'Brien meant it to be as malicious as it might have looked. So the Paris power play now will go to work for the third time. Big shot, Pike stopped, and legging this one out is Hopi.
Just so you know, that call was illegal body check. It had to be a body check to the head. That's the only reason they could call that.
I think that was really the premise was the contact to the head.
Yeah.
So that's the case. Either way, Hopi's going to try and work the clock down, under 10 on the shot clock. And he'll try to split the defenders. Good job defensively. Clayton now will waste no time and get it up to Jonah Beam. Beam will curl out and wait for the offensive unit to get out there and set things up in a 2-2 game. Second quarter action here, the Arena Lacrosse League Championship Final. Matt Lee swing across to Eddie Renault, to Spencer Pike on that left side. Dan Keene teeing that up wide of the mark. Chase Martin will loft it out. Brooker Muir with a good catch, and he will bring it up, wait for some help. But remember, Muir, the leader in short-handed goals. Good pass, Lane Smith, just wide of the net. And Drew Quinlan had it go off the head of his stick and loses possession to Mitch DeMont. And DeMont now will get it up to Muir. Muir will get it up over the line. Lane Smith again out the back door. Muir, though, will think better of it. Hesitates, and he'll go for a bit of a jog. Runs into Blair Ferguson, the referee. Turns back, double team now. He's pinned against the boards. Expect him to hold on. It gets dropped to the carpet. With 3 minutes to go in the 5-minute major, can't kick it back in your crease. That's back in. And a good job by Brooker Muir on the penalty kill situation. And boy, he sure gives you everything he's got. Josh Becker. And an interference call on Anthony Patterson will give possession to the Riverwolves.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. On a 5-minute penalty, when you score the two, you're allowed to score the 2 goals. You want to try and score early.
You most certainly do. You've got to take advantage of every opportunity that you can. That's the key here as it swings over. That underhand by Spear wide. Pike almost had a notion, had that one knocked down. Gets it back out. No reset. 5 on the shot clock. Lee kicks it over. Good skip pass. Stop Eddie Renault's shot. Ball loose on the carpet. Scrum ensues. Picked up. Van der Zalm had it momentarily. Pike now will have it on the reset. Riverwolves will pull it back out. And they'll get back to work on the power play.
But you can see what I mean about what I'm talking about, where their creasemen are. They're so far outside, they're not even in.
Well, you're not on the crease.
No,
that's not the crease. If you're outside the dotted line, you're not on the crease. And Spencer Pike. So Pike put a little extra on that and snuck it by Chase Martin. Pike's second of the game, and he gives his team, the Riverwolves, a 3-2 lead.
Well, he sold the underhand shot, which forced Martin to come out low, and then he put it right between his arm and his body. Great job on selling the shot.
Looked like Martin got a piece of it, just didn't get enough of it, and certainly wanted that one back for sure.
Still got 2 minutes on the power play, so
plenty of time. A full power play to work with. Violation by Muir.
That's a third one for him on a violation.
And Rob King says Merry Christmas, gives it back. Booker Muir now with a step. Takes it hard. Good stop by Clayton. Medeiros will corral the rebound and look to move it up. Lane Smith with some forecheck, and it'll be Quinlan that will get it over the timeline.
Whoa, that was close. Sorry.
I love it. You're in the game, baby. You're in the game. I know you're over on the bench, too.
No, I would have been saying something different from the bench.
I know. There would have been a lot of bleeping going on there for sure. That shot blocked, and it's Henry. Looking to get to his stick side. Interchange with Dylan LaPrade. Henry shot off the post.
Henry did a great job getting to his proper side, which let the other guy go to his side, but then he never gave him the ball.
That's the unfortunate side there, as Drake Smith now will slide in on the right crease. Working out there with Cole Spear. They'll interchange. And you've got Renault behind the net, kicks it back out. Keene, lock and load, shot right off the Shockwave logo. And it gets moved up by Martin. And looking out that back door and finding him doing a good job hitting Josh Becker on the give and go. But he missed DeMont. And Bean picks it up, and it'll get moved up quickly by Thomas Whitty. 35 seconds left in the man advantage.
You can't jog to the bench when you got a power play. Get off the floor. Sorry, coach coming out in me.
I know. Renault looking for a shot. That one goes wide or was partially blocked. Pike picks it up, looking to load up, dumps it down low. No chance, too much crease there. Ran out of real estate and moving up. Here comes Johnny Jimerson, puts on the brakes. And he'll wait as he sniffs the back door. Neufeld, one fake, draws two defenders, kicks it back to Jimerson. And Jimerson now. So the 5-minute major is over. Shockwave only surrender one goal. And now they'll go back to work. 5-on-5 here, trailing by one. Wiles from way out. That'll go off the rafters, and possession will go the other way, as that will take us to our officials' timeout.
You know, Lance, it's funny because both coaches have said to me on numerous occasions, we can play 5-on-5 with anybody. So they'd rather see this 5-on-5. And I'm not really sure who has an edge in that situation with this. I think as far as the scoring touches go, which is quite self-evident by the stats, that would tend to go to St. Catharines. However, confidence level right now with Paris it's off the charts.
Well, you figure the longer that Paris stays in this game and keeps it a low-scoring affair, you got to figure the better off they are. And as far as pressure goes, the pressure will fall as we get later and later. It falls squarely on the top-ranked team that's supposed to win this game.
100%.
So be interesting to see here how this unfolds. I'm looking through my roster sheet, and I'm assuming that for the Shockwave, number 27, Alex Pace, is out of the lineup today. And he not there. He was.
That was the toss-up. It was between Pace and LaPrade as to who was going to play.
That's correct. And LaPrade coming back off an injury, the question was whether or not he'd be healthy enough to be effective. Eddie Renault looking for a screen, got one from Desvaux. Hard hit from O'Brien, and that O'Brien hits you, it seems like, is a lasting effect. And you saw that there as Desvaux just back foot on the line. Dylan LaPrade strips him, and LaPrade will bring it back the other way. Doesn't have numbers, he'll wait. Hits Neufeld. Good fake around one defender. Buries the bounce shot. Brian Neufeld has tied this game up at 3.
That's not a guy that Paris wants to get woken up. I mean, what a great move in stepping in to take the shot and planning backwards, forcing the defender to step in to make the cross-check, and he's by him.
Well, you know, Blair, and you've seen as a player too, once you beat a defender, if you're allowed to stop, plant, and step into that shot, that's the best opportunity you have, and awfully tough for a goalie inside that dotted area right in the middle. So taking full advantage of it, you give a Neufeld that kind of opportunity, he's going to hurt you each and every time. DJ Nedelko doing a good job, and a great catch there by Josh Becker, as a whole lot of delayed penalty coming up here to the Riverwolves, and they got to be careful. We've seen the momentum change quickly in yesterday's semifinal with the Steelhawks and Neufeld. Now, good pass, skipped over. Oh boy, Cody Ward was loading up. Atwood tried to sidearm, got it to Neufeld. One on the shot clock, quickly and quick. And I'd say no as well. Shot clock went. So to the 30 or 40 so officials in the stands, apparently there was still plenty of time on the shot clock. To us up here, I'd say that's a no goal.
Wow, there could be 100 officials in the stands. The only 3 that count are the ones wearing the striped jerseys on the floor, and every one of them signaled no goal.
They all signaled no goal, so another power play opportunity, as Alec Tomas will spend a 2-minute break, and the Shockwave with their second power play of this game. Everyone will get a touch. Sorry, that's Marcus Minicello. My apologies. Don't want to blame my guy Alex Tomas for no apparent reason. Neufeld will kick it back out. Good pass to Ward. Ward underhand, steered aside by Clayton. Atwood picks that up, and they got to reset. Atwood, quick shot, tries to track down a rebound. Tried to hockey it in, but creased the call. And now it'll be rushed up over the line by Medeiros. Medeiros had a good head of steam. He'll avoid 2 defenders, and a high pass hauled down and picked off. So some good hops there by Jimerson. He'll retreat to the bench. Job well done, and Atwood now will settle things down. Atwood out there with Ward on the right side. Lane Smith at the top. Neufeld and Henry over on the left side.
Coach Dubrick just stood there and put his hands on his hips and shook his head with that pass. Not a happy camper.
Well, that's what coaches do. And Brett Albicus now, transition specialist. He's got Bill O'Brien chasing him down. And wise decision by Albicus to pull that out. Great transition defense from the Shockwave. And Medeiros now will work some clock with 40 seconds to go in the penalty. Keene working on the half boards, has LaPrade on him. Keene gets a shot off. That's wide of the mark. No reset, ball loose. LaPrade will track it down, and he'll move it up. Heads up on that back door for the Shockwave as they'll settle things down, and it'll be Atwood. 20 seconds left in the penalty.
10 seconds left in that shot clock. That was not a good shot.
Plenty of time left. Caleb Wilds, good backhand pass. Neufeld steps in. So a fine example there of Neufeld deciding early he was going to take it strong, and he puts the finishing touches, and it's now a 4-3 lead for the Shockwave.
And the scary part of this is this thing went off both posts in the crossbar and dropped into the net. So, you know what? That's a goal that's caused by the spin of the turf. Other than the fact it was a great move and he made a good shot, quick stick, but still, that was a spin of the turf when it goes off both posts in the crossbar and spins in.
Not sure if that was classified as a power play goal or not.
Yeah, it was.
And that the second power play goal of this game. Not for them, but in total as we creep in on the 6:20 mark. 1-goal game, Shockwave in the lead here, and it will looking down low inside to Anthony Patterson. He battles with Clayton for it. Clayton does a good job to run some interference, and it'll be Quinlan now that'll get it over the timeline.
It was about the 6-minute mark of the second quarter that they decided to play lacrosse yesterday as well.
Most certainly, and then they sure came fired up for the third. So we'll see if that script bodes the same way. Pike now. It's by Jimerson, looking to unload, dumps it off, but too many defenders in there, and here's Jimerson. Going to be a foot race. Jimerson with good speed. Drake Smith track him down. Good pass to Lane Smith. Lane Smith popped out of his pocket, and now the Riverwolves will track it down in the corner. Smith trying to forecheck, but it'll be Smith now that'll move it up.
I think they got a penalty. He cut through the crease and then went and checked the guy.
That might be the case as the arm's up, and there'll be a delayed penalty. So the Riverwolves will, if they can't pocket one here, they will go to work on the power play one more time. Matt Lee swinging across, looking for Spear. Spear, good job by Tomas to win that battle. And I think you're absolutely right. Either way, it'll be a power play for the Riverwolves. Their 4th of the game. Currently 1 for 3 with the man advantage. They were only able to pocket one goal on the 5-minute major penalty to Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He went through the crease and made the hit. But Spear right there tried to make the shot before he made sure he had the ball in the stick. So it's unfortunate, and that could cost them a little bit of a possession, but they got it right back.
Matt Lee out there with Keene. Keene the quarterback this time. Spear, Pike, and Renault. The power play unit now, and it gets swung over. Keene looking down low. Matt Lee from in close. Stopped, though, by Martin. So point blank, and that will take us to our officials' timeout. And with that said, of course, I'd like to extend an Arena Lacrosse League thank you and congratulations to the Whitby Steelhawks. Thank you guys for your participation in the league this year, and all that you brought, your competitive nature and your ability to work hard each and every time out. So Gavin Prout and Brad MacArthur, excellent job. And, of course, Ryan McMichael, I won't leave you out as well. So thank you guys.
I wasn't going to let you.
And congratulations on that.
Well, I mean, you can extend that as well to every team in the league. They did a great job, man.
And I think that's the idea. I also like to thank Foster Active Kids. The Arena Lacrosse League believes all children should have an opportunity to actively participate in an organized sport, and that's why, for the third year, the All has partnered with Foster's Active Kids to teach personal integrity, teamwork, and leadership skills to young participants. So thank you, Foster Active Kids, for your continuing support of the Arena Lacrosse League and, of course, the Junior All. And we certainly, of course, would not leave out. Y'all would like to thank the National Lacrosse League for their ongoing support of the Arena Lacrosse League. We look forward, of course, to a long and prosperous partnership. So I'm sure over the course of the game, we'll have a chance to thank everyone involved that made this third season possible here in the Arena Lacrosse League.
And I know I wasn't here to help you out with the game earlier, but I want to pass on my congratulations to the girls for their situation. And I believe, was it not the Riverwolves won that as well?
It was a matter of fact, the Riverwolves with an outstanding game. They played great. It was a very competitive affair, and I think a lot of our viewers out there will enjoy what they see. So the Shockwave now back to work after the officials' timeout. Minute and a half to go in the penalty. So they got some work to do to kill this one, leading by a goal. Cody Ward trying to elude two defenders, still has it. Works to one hand. Again, the swim moves beauty. Knocks down the carpet. Gets back up. Still has it. Backhand pass. Looking for Becker. Becker has a stick taken right out of his hands. But excellent work. Caleb Wiles, the flip back. That's probably the only thing he may have done wrong on that, as that ball now will roll all the way down into the offensive end. Shockwave, though, will get their defensive unit out there, and you can see the box they've got going with Hopi, Muir, Big Bill O'Brien, and Mitch DeMont.
Sorry, Lance, but one thing anybody can take a good look at is Shockwave did a great job of spreading the floor out in the offensive zone when they're down a man.
Certainly are able to force it out, but you can't do anything about a shot like that. Cole Spear, bounce shot, working that top corner, and we're all tied 4-4.
That time he came up from the crease to the shooter spot. Ended up getting a nice little shot to the top corner, and there we go again. You know, you got 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the Riverwolves right now are in a game that they're not expected to be in, as far as a lot of people talk about. And, you know, like their head coach even said, we're here, we're going to give it our best shot, but there's nothing to lose, and they're doing a great job right now.
Well, I think, too, you've got to take into consideration as that's an interference call. You're talking about a team in Paris that finished as in second place last year, losing in the final by a goal. So they've got some experience. They're back here again. The Shockwave struggled last season, certainly didn't have the postseason run they wanted, made adjustments and came back strong. Rebound almost picked up by Josh Becker, came back strong, but they still haven't had the experience of being here. So regardless of your regular season record, who does the edge go to? Well, I tell you, right now, tied at 4, heading close to the first half, low-scoring affair. Right now, it's the Riverwolves that have the edge.
And one of the things you know as well as I do in any sport, before you win, you got to learn to lose.
I think that's 100% correct, and we'll see. Riverwolves certainly aren't going to go quietly into the night, as Keene will go around the screen, kick it over to Pike. Pike now. Good defense as Pedwell is all over him. Shot from way out. Stop. Rebound. Big save.
Great save.
So what a robbery from Chase Martin. Someone better charge that guy. And it'll be back up to the top in Porga. Porga will send it over. Spear. Good jumping defense. They forced that shot from way out. And Martin now with a good outlet pass. Short hop to Dylan LaPrade. LaPrade looking out the back door. Finds a trailer. Ward will backpedal over to the half boards and look for an opening. Good kick pass. Lane Smith on the run. Stop. So a good pass to a cutting Lane Smith who scoops up that rebound. Fresh clock for the Shockwave. Tie game here. All championship final. Atwood from way out. Off the crossbar. So another delayed penalty. And it looks like it'll be a holding call. And Drake Smith is not quite sure what happened there, but that's usually the case when you're the guilty party.
And it's funny, I could hear Chris Driscoll yelling from the bench, just leave him, just leave him. Now I know what he was talking about.
Well, he didn't just leave him, but he will leave him for 2 minutes as Smith's in the box. Third power play of the game here for the Shockwave, working 1 for 2. And it'll be Wiles at the top, Ward and Atwood on the right side. Neufeld and Smith on the left. Wiles, big underhand. Got to get something a little better than that on the power play. And good job at putting his body in front was Ward. Medeiros bounced off, bounced back, scooped up by the hands of Brooker Muir. I tell you, that guy does a little of everything. Muir, 3-on-2, over to Ward. Ward shot stopped. So Nolan Clayton is doing what he does. And it's Medeiros now trots over the timeline with 1:20 to go in a man advantage.
Why would you do that? Take that shot when you had numbers and you had Chris Atwood standing right in the crease by himself.
Not sure why guys do what they do, but they do it anyway, as you see Renault getting hounded by Van der Zalm. Van der Zalm all over him. 4 on the shot clock. Trying to get a shot off as Renault does a job. Good job. Flips it in the corner. And waited till the absolute last second to flip it. We're under a minute to go here, first half.
Absolutely smart play. They got the guys off the floor and got them back into the defensive zone.
Looking down low, Neufeld steps in, dumps. Lane Smith diving, good save, Clayton. Man, oh man, Clayton doing what he does. And the Riverwolves have to be pleased with that because you can't win a championship without good goaltending. And now it's Whitty. Whitty has Gat on him. Dumps it off, Matt Lee. Keane trying to turn the corner. Lee with a solid screen. Boy, good shot, good shoulder save though by Martin. Timeout called as the Shockwave will play for the last possession here. 17 seconds left in the penalty to Drake Smith. 22.6 seconds left in the half. So, Blair, if you're over there on the Shockwave bench, who are you going to go to with the final shot here?
7 or 14 or 66. Pick it.
Well, you got to
one of the three.
You got to tell me because our viewers out there, they don't want to hear your numbers. I mean, if we're going for the lottery, that's great.
Atwood, Neufeld, or Wiles.
Okay.
And to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised to see them end up going to that play we saw them use yesterday behind the net.
Okay.
As long as they've got that quick stick going, you got 22 seconds. So the shot clock's, the
shot clock's off. So
it should be,
certainly.
Yeah. So you got a situation where I don't expect them to probably do anything for about 7 seconds. They'll probably get started, just stand with the ball till about 15 seconds, and then they'll make a move, and I would not be surprised in the least to see it end up going behind the net.
Well, we've seen a lot of times, too, situation like this backfire and such that a shot's taken too early. Takes a bad bounce or a fortuitous bounce, depending on who you're cheering for, and ends up down at the other end and in the empty net for an easy goal. So that's certainly something you don't want to happen here as we're tied heading to the half. So the reliable Brian Neufeld, he will be in charge of holding on to the egg right now as him and Lane Smith will work it over. Atwood on the right side. Clock ticking down. They're at 10. Smith. Behind the net, dive, beautiful! Excellent call, Mr. Campbell. That's what you get, and it's a 5-4 Shockwave lead.
And I believe it was Wiles, if I'm not mistaken.
No one does that dive behind the net like 66 of the gold and black, I'll tell you that.
What I can't believe is Not the fact they left him open behind the net.
That you were right?
But the room he had to dive around the net, there was nobody on that crease.
But that's because, like you said, they worked it around the horn first and disguised it, then went behind the net. And that's why that opening. So you swing the goalie around, got Clayton moving, and Caleb had that whole side. So well-executed play diagram by Ron Henry and Roger Chrysler, and clock winding down. Brooke Ramir is going to go for one last try and gets a shot off, but it's wide of the mark. So one heck of an opening half of this All-Championship Cup. It's the Riverwolves trailing 5-4. We'll take a short break back here with our halftime report after this.
It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. With the quick plays in the stick saves, most entertaining since the old days. This is where the players mold all day, growing the game with the bold take. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. Booming. Steelhawks. Shockwave.
Welcome back to the ILA after a very impressive first half with, of course, the Shockwave leading the Riverwolves 5-4 after a late power play goal. I'm here with the Arena Lacrosse League president, of course, and founder, Paul St. John. And Prez, when we talk about the Arena Lacrosse League, let's talk a little bit about what's gone on in the third season. Tell me a little bit about what your overall thoughts are. Would you say successful, needs some work? Where are we?
Well, I think everything always needs work, Lance, but I think successful for sure. We saw at the beginning of the year we had, I think, 25 or 26 players that went to NLL camps. I think 18 of them stuck with teams either on a practice roster or made active rosters. So, that's what we're here for, develop players to the next level, and we saw that. So what we did do, and you saw some slow starts with some teams. We had a big influx of new players, right? Whitby started off with almost a new roster. Six Nations started off with almost a new roster.
Right.
Look at Whitby at the end. I mean, they had to run into St. Catharines, and St. Catharines finished first in regular season for a reason. They're good, so Whitby loses. Defending champs are gone. Six Nations, great season. Then all of a sudden they get in the quarterfinals against Paris, who's here today, and they just didn't, have their A game on, and Paris steamrolls over them, and we see that. But the influx of new players is great. We need that. We need the younger guys coming in because realistically, we still have some of the older veterans that lead teams, but we are a young league. We want the young 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. Get in here now, play, get against the men. Because these guys are men. You see some of the hits. Bill O'Brien out here just knocking bodies all over the place. It's fun to watch, right? This is where you get to really see the development of the players.
Now, would you say that, of course, and this is a pretty easy question, really, as far as the league goes, the parity in the league, you got to be pleased with that. You know
what? Yes, but you take away the St. Catharines Shockwave out of the parity because they went 13-1. But I know you don't really want to get into this game. It's 5-4 at the half. So you see Paris has closed that parity because they're good. They're just as good as well.
Well, I was going to counter, of course, with the number of one-goal games that the Shockwave played throughout the season. And I understand with that impressive record that they had losing on one game, but they were tested. So that's why I say when you talk parity in this league, depending on who's playing who, anyone really can beat anyone on a given day.
Well, you know what, and that's a great point because, here I am, tooting the 13-1 Shockwave horn, but down the last 7 games, I think, 6 of those games they could have very easily lost, absolutely, right? And they're all 1-2-goal games, right? It might have been one little blowout in there, but other than that, they were tight games. So you see everybody as the season went on, the gap did close. We had 3 teams, I think, or 2 teams finished 6-8, 3 teams finished 5-7, or 5-9. I mean, it was tight for playoff races. Right, and it was right down to the last weekend.
Right. So tell me now, looking ahead at, of course, season number 4, what things are the Arena Lacrosse League looking to change or implement? And, of course, there are a lot of things that are on the table that are tentative, but maybe just some things that speculatively you'd like to do.
Well, I think as we move forward, we really like to, move closer to the NLL on a minor league structure. The NLL being our parent, we're like the AHL to the NHL in hockey. Where we can really partner up with teams or partner up with the league and kind of start to put players from the NLL teams onto individual teams. So they're not all spread out. As you can see in this league, Toronto Rock may have 2 or 3 players on 3 different teams in this league. Kind of get them into systems. So our teams can develop those players in systems that the NLL teams play, get them ready for that team, maybe even incorporate some Kellers and stuff like that, similar to the NLL teams and stuff like that, but more minor league feeder system. I mean, I think we're both open to that. We're on the same page when we talk about minor league. We just got to really figure out how we can do it, right? And I think we can. I really do. I think we've really grown the game on our end at the Arena Lacrosse League end. I mean, we've known what the NLL's done in 30-plus seasons they've been in. So, if we can really strengthen that partnership, I think it'd be great for lacrosse in general, and especially for the players, right?
And I think that's what it's about. It's about players' opportunity and exposure. So congratulations, great job in wrapping up your 3rd season, and look forward to head back on a 4th round trip there as we look forward to bigger and better things coming in 2019, 2020. Paul St. John, President, Arena Lacrosse League. We'll be back with second half action after a short break.
we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off with the quick plays in the stick saves. Most entertaining since the old days. This is where the players mold all day. Growing the game with the bold take. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. Booming. Steelhawks, Shockwave, Outlaws, and the Riverwolves. It's the ALL Final Four. Coming at you live. JVI. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off.
Hello and welcome back to, excuse me, the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. Here on the Six Nations Reservation, Lance Wynn, Blair Campbell, the JVI production crew. Glad to have you along for the ride here as we get ready, set for the third quarter. I'd like to take this time to congratulate and thank the Toronto Monarchs for their participation in the league. Blair McCauley and company, outstanding job. We appreciate what you've done and what you've brought with your squad and your commitment to the Arena Lacrosse League. So thank you, Monarchs. And right off the bat, Brooker Muir wasting no time. Bounces off two, splits it, gets a shot off, stopped by Clayton. And just a heads up that usually playing goal by committee are the Shockwave, but it's Chase Martin that's back in there for the third quarter. Why? Because he's only surrendered 4 goals in 30 minutes. And that shot well wide of the mark, picked up and heads up. Henry now and LaPrade. They do the interchange. Henry's sidearm wide of the mark. That'll come all the way down. Good hands there by Caleb Wiles to keep it in the offensive end and give his team another chance on offense. Atwood. Chris Atwood, one of the team leading scorers off the scoreboard goals-wise so far. That shot stopped. Good shot by Neufeld, but extra effort. And like yesterday, right out of the blocks come the Shockwave. And it's Drew Quinlan now. Those big, long strides, covers a lot of carpet. He'll pull it out, though, and wait for the offense, get it to Matt Lee. Lee, of course, coming off an allergic reaction yesterday, still played in the semifinal, had 2 goals, 2 assists, was outstanding. And Brandon Porga has that door that was open momentarily, picked up by Saul Vanderzalm. Vanderzalm, no one's going to catch him in alone. Big save by Clayton off the shoulder pad. Lee now will move it up to Keene. No numbers, though, for Paris with Cole Spear jumping into the rush. Drake Smith now is switched from defense offense. Good pass there, and Spear misses wide. Lee with the rebound. Gets knocked down on the play.
They got 6 guys on the floor.
And I'm not quite sure. You can look there and see, as there was a whole lot going on. Pike shot stopped. So Chase Martin doing a good job, as wasting no time. The intensity is picked up here in the third quarter. Muir now will size things up. Waits for a screen on the roll. Jimerson Stopped by Clayton. Ball loose, picked up by Atwood. As you saw McMahon get shoved to the side. And Atwood now with Big Rob King on him. Atwood, good dump off to Patterson. Couldn't handle the flip though, couldn't chase it down as King now does. And Nolan Clayton ran some interference. No call on the play as he got knocked into the boards. And King over the timeline. So I tell you, things have picked up just a bit here in the third.
I'm sorry, you want to do that as a goalie. That's one of those things that's going to happen because he put himself in that position.
Diving try by Keene, creased the call, and Keene gives a couple of players a push, takes a check himself, and he's throwing them still. So again, intensity level has definitely picked up here in the third in this one-goal championship game, and Dan Keene bumped Chase Martin, Holtby, and Alex Henry, and he'll go to the box. It looks like Johnny Jimerson will join him, but I'm not sure. I gotta have to use my good eye to see over there.
It is.
So
he's lucky if he only gets two here because he really laid into about three different guys.
Well, you touch the goalie first off. That's in his own crease. Yeah. That's a problem.
In the crease. That's 100%.
So. And you see Travis Burton getting told, get away from the conversation. And for the Shockwave, Mitch DeMont.
It must be, nope, they each only got two, I guess.
So it'll go with coincidental minors. They'll offset each other. And I'm still trying to figure out why the Shockwave have 6 on.
They were taught. Dumont was talking to the ref about the penalties.
So now 5-on-5, Shockwave on the offensive end. Ward will get it over. Good pass shot by Pedwell. That gets stopped. Picked up by Medeiros. Medeiros will take it up the middle now, and he's going to have to hurry. Does in time. Gets it to Brett Albicus. Albicus will flip to Matt Lee. Lee now will go bounce pass to Spear. Spear and Lee give and go. Oh, big save on a good try by Matt Lee.
Was the only shot he had. He couldn't get his body turned around and take any other shot but that.
Couldn't agree with you more as Corey Becker races over the timeline. And now it'll be Josh Becker. Lane Smith, half boards, left side, curling around, looking for a shot. Good pass, dumped it. Patterson! No goal called on the play, a crease. And contact made again with Clayton.
That contact was the other way around. Clayton made that contact.
Well, Clayton's played a couple of games as a forward, so he's certainly a guy that doesn't shy away from contact. And now it'll be Brandon Porga to set things up over to Pike. Swung over now to Eddie Renault. Renault, kick it back out. Pike at the top, swung around. Porga. Quick shot by Renault, wide of the mark. That'll ricochet off, and Pike took the wrong angle. Muir's going to pick that up. And look, and a whole heap of guys on the floor. And it'll be Neufeld to settle things down.
We got a penalty coming here right now.
So a delayed penalty, and you can see hobbling on that knee there is Marcus Minicello. And he's just trying to hang on till there's a break. Wiles swing it over. Atwood wide of the mark. No possession. Picked up Shockwave in the slot. Stop. Cody Ward. So a
roughing.
Looks like a roughing call. And again, Riverwolves, undisciplined, will go to the box and give this potent Shockwave power play another opportunity. 2 for 3 with a man advantage are the Shockwave, and they lead this by a goal. So Caleb Wiles will quarterback this set here. He's out there with Ward and Atwood on the right side, Neufeld and Smith on the left. Wiles will gap that box. Atwood goes to the overhand. So how about Chris Atwood on the board in the goal column? his first of the game, and it's a 6-4 St. Catharines lead.
And that's one of the things that Chris Atwood does best. He sold a shot, basically wound up, and actually leaned backwards away from the center of the floor and put it in on the short side. He sold it. He sold Clayton to go to the other side of the net.
Well, I find when he goes to the overhand, he's a heck of a lot more accurate than when he does the sidearm or the underhand. And he's even more effective when he's on the carpet and not in the box. Holtby had it momentarily. Sorry, lost it. It was Nedelko. Yes, DJ. And now Van der Zalm does a good job to set up the offense for the Shockwave. And you can see passes are starting to get a little more crisp. They seem to have the ball a little longer. And that shot from way out by Pedwell will go over the timeline. Not quite sure if it touched anyone or what. I thought that would have been violation.
That should have been an over and back.
Either way, no reset, and playing without the buzzer. Outstanding work and never letting up at all was Travis Burton. Boy, oh boy. I thought I heard a buzzer. I wasn't sure if it was a...
The buzzer was the 30-second clock going off against the Shockwave. So that was dead because the ball was on the floor.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It's a 6-5 game, so a big goal from Burton pulls his team to within one. We got a one-goal game here. Scrum in the neutral zone gets flipped up. Good hustle there by Corey Becker, and that's going to take us to our officials' timeout, I believe, and possession will be headed to our left. So you got to figure that based on rate now, a low-scoring affair has to bode well for the Riverwolves.
100% it does, and Chris Driscoll and Jamie Dubrick have got to be over there licking their chops like, hey, guys, we're staying with this team. They're a high-scoring team, and we're staying with them with a one-goal difference in 36 minutes of lacrosse. So you know what? I'm happy with that.
I'd have to agree with you, certainly as far as entertainment value goes, and I know there were some out there that expected this to be a high-scoring blowout affair, and that's certainly not the case here, at least not for the first 30-plus minutes. So Riverwolves certainly not going quietly anywhere. They're going to fight, I'm sure, tooth and nail till the final buzzer.
And that was just shown in exactly what Travis Burton just did on that last goal, fighting for that ball and pulling out of the corner and diving across the crease.
So Riverwolves go to work on offense here. Team's back at full strength. Keene. They need something from Danny Keene. Keene, where are you? Time to step up. Pike, underhand, stopped by Martin. Martin now will send away Muir.
Once again, if Martin can see that ball from 35 to 40 feet out, it's not going to go by him very often.
Josh Becker looking for the screen and dump. Didn't have it. Kicked it back out. Neufeld, wrong stick side. Swing it down. Good move. Patterson goes hard. Big save by Clayton. Hard hit by Josh Becker. I thought he made contact, though, when player had possession. Not quite sure.
I got to agree with you on that one. That ball was in his stick, and I'm not sure what referee Blair Ferguson is calling here.
I didn't think that Josh Becker had any malicious. I thought it was just a good, solid hit. Well, the guy had the ball. There was no illegal stick work or anything like that. But once again, we spoke about the 30 or so officials in the stands, including
30?
us, and only ones that matter are the three on the carpet. So
I did not see a call. I'm not sure what it was called.
Riverwolves now will go to work on the power play. They're fifth of this game, 2 for 4. So they've been very efficient. Pike goes to the overhand. That's wide of the mark. Good job by Keene to keep it in the end. Dan Keene looking for an opening. Finds Lee. Lee skip pass. Hard shot way outside. Once again, well outside that dotted circle. they'll get a fresh clock with a minute and a half. Spear will kick it back out, skip past Keene. Keene dumps it, Spear. Spear sizing up, creates a different angle. Muir pushes him out. Lee, good hands, goes to the underhand, stopped by Martin. Picked up and flipped out. Brooker Muir now, one-on-one. Got to watch Brooker Muir because he'll hesitate on you and go hard to that net. He gets it off, though, to Atwood this time. Atwood now will move it on to Lane Smith. They'll look to kill some clock. Just over a minute to go in the penalty. Ward, good quick step, underhand wide of the mark. That's picked up by Quinlan. Quinlan now will think better of taking it strong to the rack, and he'll flip and retreat. Let the power play unit go to work with 45 seconds to go. Riverwolves trailing by a goal here. Arena Lacrosse League final hasn't disappointed here as Keene will size things up, get it back out. They'll swing it to Pike. Pike loading up, gets a Keene, tries to pick that short side. Instead it goes deep, and look at Van der Zalm. Van der Zalm's going to scoop that up and not cleanly, and looks like, I'm not sure if there was contact called on that or what, but
no, that was just the over and back, and
okay, I see.
Just made a point of making sure he got a good solid step into him.
Van der Zalm splitting two, still working hard. Has two defenders on him, picked up by the Shockwave and Neufeld. 10 seconds ago in a penalty. It's flipped back. Atwood in a foot race with Albicus. Does a good job to box him out. Van der Zalm picks it up. They float it in the corner. Penalty is over now. Teams will go back to full strength. And the Riverwolves will get possession now with just over 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Minicello. Keene. Swing it up. Lee at the top. Working on the left side. Pike. Keene now with hope beyond him. Pike now will get a step going. Gets ahead of steam. Underhand. That's blocked. And Martin will pick it up. Heads up now. Past Dylan LaPrade. On a breakaway all alone. LaPrade! Picking the corner. Bulging to Twine. And boy, does Shockwave regain a 2-goal lead. They're up now 7-5.
There's going to be about 3 guys that are going to get absolutely reamed, or they should, on that Riverwolf bench, because 4 of them stood down here inside the dotted line. They all went after the ball. You can't do that on a shot. Somebody has to retreat defensively. Has to.
Well, certainly the case there, and off the draw, Muir's picked that up. And he will get it over the timeline, do a bit of a hesitation move, put on the jets, and dump it back out to Becker. Becker will wait for the 5th man, and it's Pedwell. He'll swing it over now. Ward. Good quick pass, underhand by Lane Smith on the money. He gets the rebound, picks that up, kicks it back out. Fresh clock for the Shockwave. Ward. Had a notion, pulled it back out. Trying to turn that corner's Pedwell. Quinlan with the long arm of the law hauled him in. And now the Riverwolves will come back the other way. Numbers. Good transition D from the Shockwave. Spear! Boy, did he use the defender well and stuck that through. Bounce shot, top corner, 7-6.
Perfect screenshot. Faked the shot, pulled it back down, stepped around, put it right over the defender's shoulder, and there is not a chance that that goalie saw that ball at all.
That was a perfect bounce shot.
Right 5-hole.
Perfectly placed and well done, of course, for Spear's 2nd of the game.
And Martin didn't have a chance to square and get set with his stick in between his legs. He just, basically it was hope and pray it hits him.
That's the case. Van der Zalm now. It beats one man, takes 2 steps, tries to switch hands, tried to go short side, stopped by Clayton. Travis Burton now will let the dust settle and get it over the timeline. Pike avoids Henry, peels out there, and a good stick check. And that looks like that will take us to our officials' timeout. Turnover will take it back the other way, and we'll take this opportunity, of course, to thank the Peterborough Timbermen for their contribution to the Arena Lacrosse League. Joe Sullivan and company, thank you guys. You guys were outstanding. And we look forward to having you back in the mix for many years to come. Also like to thank the Oshawa Outlaws and Steve McCarthy. Definitely an outstanding job, and keep up the good work. We look forward to your return as the Arena Lacrosse League will get set for its 4th season. And Darcy Palace, Vince Longboat, and the Six Nations Snipers, thank you guys, not only for the use of your venue, but more so for what you brought to the table and how you've managed so well to deal with the adversity that turned the big turnover on your team in the offseason. So, Darcy, thank you, and we appreciate what you've done as well.
I want to personally thank Darcy for stepping in for me yesterday with myself not feeling well, but thanks, Darcy. Appreciate it very, very much.
So a personal thank you from Blair Campbell. You know those are few and far between, so you should take that, run with it, and do what you can. I'm still waiting for mine, but that's okay.
You're going to be waiting until you know what freezes
I
over.
I am well aware of that.
That is hockey sticks.
I know, that is for sure. That's okay as Patterson leans in, bounces off a check, kicks it back out. Ward couldn't handle the pass, trying to track down the loose ball. Good job by Jamie McMahon, who loses the stick. Atwood picks it up under 10 on the shot clock. McMahon got it back, regroup, tying up Atwood's stick. Good job, backhand pass. Ward shot wide. Off the top of the glass, and Neufeld does a good job to sweep it back in the corner. Great work by the veteran Jamie McMahon. Stayed right on the stick, full frontal of Atwood. Wouldn't let him get that shot off. Matt Lee got a step. Curled back out, sends it back to the top, and Spear. Spear will give it up, get it back. Then give it up one more time. Desvaux will swing it over to Pike. Pike underhand. All got through, but off the post. And a good save there made by Chase Martin. Muir with 3:25 to go. Muir stops. The hesitation. Got a good screen from Jimerson. Jimerson leaning in. Good defensive rotation. Room. Good fake. Move up, down. Big save by Clayton on Pedwell. Ball loose now. Scooped up by the Riverwolves. And they'll try to move it up. Whitty. Whitty got to get it over first before he did the zigzag. And Quinlan now will flip to Keene. Keene with Gatt on him. He'll fire it over to find Spear. Spear will send it over to Pike. Sorry to Renault. Renault with Pike. Tried to look. Jimerson, quick hands, tiptoed on that white line. So great on the interception. Not able to keep that ball in bounds. And it will be possession to the Riverwolves with 2:45 to go. Pike has hope beyond him. Kicks it back out. Renault fakes the shot. Flips Pike. Spear. Spear gets the shot off. That's well wide of the mark. Ball loose now. And Dan Key tried to slow it down, but it was on the wrong side of the line. A quick transition play. And good hustle to get on it. Wide open's Hopi. Instead, keeping himself Pedwell. Corey Becker. He went well over the net. And an interference call will give the Riverwolves a chance to move it up.
That was just a minor brain cramp. All he had to do was take a half a step forward, and he's on the other side of the line.
Lee will get it over to Drake Smith. Smith, they could use a little something out of him too. Good job to dump it. Lee with an underhand. Good save by Martin. As there haven't been a lot of openings for either of these goalies here in this game. Wiles. Dump it off. Neufeld. He'll get into his familiar spot. Got ahead of steam going. A good flip back. Wild shot. Stopped by Clayton. Picked up. Whoa. Almost knocked back into his own net. But Medeiros now with a flip. Almost intercepted. Minicello. He'll stretch that out over the timeline and make it in time. Creeping in on the final minute here of the third quarter. The last third quarter of the Arena Lacrosse League season. Renault trying to work his way in, underhand wide of the mark. There's a check on Dustin Gadd in the back. Lucky he didn't get 2 minutes for that. Shockwave now will move it up with Van der Zoom. Becker gets a screen, peels off, not able to shed. Underhand got through, but Clayton got enough of it to steer it wide. And again now working and losing it. Good strip, Josh Becker, and no call on the play as Becker must have went through the crease.
Fortunate for the Riverwolves. They get another 30 seconds and another 8 to get it over.
Keane gets up, has O'Brien on him, double team. Keane in the crease, and he'll immediately retreat. So good defense there, close that opportunity off, and we are into 30 seconds almost to go here in this third quarter. Neufeld. Atwood from the top, reset the offense. Minicello drops a stick, dumps it off, looking for Cody Ward. Neufeld with a good job, stopped though by Clayton. Ball loose on the carpet, here come the Riverwolves, moving it up. Wiles working on Burton. Burton not able to corral it. Wiles does. He moves it up, one pass, underhand, Ward, Tatwood, they run out of time, but boy, oh boy, an outstanding third quarter. And we are getting set for quarter number 4 right now. It's 7-6 in favor of the Shockwave.
Funny, one of the things that we saw in the semifinals from the Riverwolves, and I have not seen it yet, the two guys that became involved in the offense on the transition was both Minicello and Quinlan. Last week, they were really involved. They scored goals on the transition. But both of them are coming over the line and stopping and not taking the ball to the hoop. And you know what? At this point in time, you got 15 minutes left. You might as well, at this point in time, take it to the hoop.
I think you're absolutely right as far as that goes. And I think we're certainly in for a very entertaining, at the very least, finish here. This Arena Lacrosse League final. And I'd certainly like to extend a thank you to the Crawley family, in particular the X-Man, who happens to be a ninja karate warrior. So not many people have that much talent, but thank you for showing up to the games and making things so enjoyable. So I expect to see you back here next year ready to go. So that's my personal message to the Ninja Karate Warrior, and I'll make sure I see you one more time.
That might be difficult with your eyesight.
Well, that's why you got to have ninjas as friends, right? You got to have allies. You know, you get old. You know how it is when you get up there in age and you just don't move as quick as you used to. Got to have someone to bring the walker out. Right, Mr. Campbell?
I get along just fine.
You sure do, buddy. You sure do. Listen, you are able to consistently annoy people like you did 20 years ago. That's 30, see? And that's one thing I like about you. Consistency has always been the key. So get ready to rock and rumble here. We're in the final 15 minutes, and someone is going to walk away with the All Cup. And it's a 1-goal affair with the Shockwave with the opening possession. I know you're going to try to get me back.
No. Actually, all I was going to say was I thought I made a mistake once, but I was wrong.
Oh, you were wrong on that. You're absolutely right. Quick shot by Lade Smith. Minicello, a little too overly aggressive, sent Cody Ward to the carpet. And it'll be possession to the Shockwave.
That's a shock.
That's it. All right.
I've been dying to say that.
Okay, I know you have. I got to let you get one joke. On the run there, Josh Becker not able to find the mark. 15 on the shot clock. Atwood tracks it down. Atwood gets a screen, has some room. Atwood goes down, stopped by Clayton. And now it's going to get brought up and over the line by Quinlan. Quinlan has done a good job defensively here today. for these Riverwolves.
There's exactly what I was talking about. Why not get yourself involved in the play?
Healing out is Renault, and he gives it up. And off to the races, but good transition D. Deswell Bell shot stopped by Clayton. So Riverwolves with a costly turnover that fortunately doesn't cost them anything. And they move it up over the timeline, go to work on Pike, looking out the back door to Keene. Keene going hard to the net. Diving haul down, and an outstanding tackle made there by Dylan LaPrade as that locomotive in Dan Keene was in full flight. And I'm not quite sure if there was a whole lot he could have done other than that.
Well, let's put it this way. There's a whole bunch of coaches in the NFL and the CFL that would be real happy with that tackle.
That was a very impressive tackle. He made sure that the man was down, that's for sure.
Wasn't getting the shot away.
Well, and then there was no bounce on that carpet. Keene just kind of stuck there. 2 power play goals already registered by these Riverwolves in this game. Pike now had an opening. Not sure why he didn't just take that shot there. Had the best shot he could get. And
the ball did not go over.
Well, I don't know. My view of that, big save there by Martin. And Brooker Muir now has got a man with him in DeMont. DeMont will get it back. Muir now will wait and be very deliberate here. I thought that his foot touched the line, so regardless the ball being over, you, though, are on the other side.
Both his feet were on this side of it. The ball was definitely about 3 feet on the other side, though. Discretion.
Yep, apparently. Good job there by Mitch DeMont to kill some valuable seconds with a minute left in the LaPrade penalty. So the Riverwolves here with a golden opportunity to try and tie this game up. And you got to figure if you can slow it down and park one, keep this one close here in the final quarter. They've been there before. Good save made by Martin, creates some interference, and now legging up is going to be Holtby. Holtby gets it over the timeline with Medeiros on him. Holtby will dump it off, and they'll set things up. DeMont will swing it over to Josh Becker. Becker again, and they throw it away. So that's a over and back violation. And possession now will go to the Riverwolves with 15 seconds left in the penalty. It's Pike now will skip past Keene on low. Good save made by Martin. Keene corrals it. Van der Zalm on him. Keene waits, gets it to Lee, and Lee now. Penalty over to LaPrade. He'll hustle back in the play. Lee, big save again by Martin. So Martin is doing what he does. Stellar between the pipes. And Quinlan, fresh off the bench, will pick up that loose ball and get it to Pike. Him and Alec Tomas working in very tight quarters as Renault, the fake, has the flip, takes a hit, bounces off, gets it back. Desvaux shot. Good save by Martin. Hard hit by Van der Zalm. Got hit in the back. No call there, but possession to the gold and black. Atwood. Atwood with a goal here in this game. A low-scoring affair, this Arena Lacrosse League final. Lane Smith. Smith with Burton on him. Steers around, a hard pick set by Patterson. Smith weaves in, has the stick knocked away. It pops out. 1 on the shot clock, so good defensive hold for the Riverwolves, and they'll come away with it and move it up to Drake Smith. Smith, wrong stick side. He'll find Renault. Renault will do a spin. Has Jimerson on him. Good D by Jimerson. And they'll have to send it back out to Keene, who kicks it all the way around to Smith. Smith, one-on-one. Fakes the backhand, pulls it back out. Keene now. Under 10 on the shot clock. Works in it, and that went through the leg. Rebound Picked up by Smith on the reset. So the shot from Eddie Renault was a tricky one. Actually almost went through the legs of Martin, off his heel and out. Give and go. Hard hit, taken down by 2 defenders. And ball loose in the corner, picked up. Pike sheds 1 defender, has another on it. Jimerson all over his helmet. He's going to go for 2 at the very least. And Paris now is going to hold it out, be very deliberate here.
That's it. Get a guy in that middle.
So they put a big body in the middle, work it around. 10 on the shot clock. Keane at the top, looking for an opening. Bad pass made and good hustle, not able to corral it. Shot by Medeiros, stopped. So a key power play coming up here for the Riverwolves as we roll into our officials' timeout. And what are we diagramming here, Mr. Campbell?
Nothing spectacular. This is a situation where they've got to play it smart, take their time, but get the ball moving on the power play. Don't let it sit in somebody's stick for 3 seconds. They're more effective when the ball is moving quickly. They've proven that to us. They've proven it to the league. Every time they slow the ball down, they end up having to take the shot from probably 5 feet outside the 25-foot line. You can't do that. You got to get the defense moving, and you got to get the goalie going side to side.
You're absolutely right. I'd like to take this time here in the 4th quarter to thank all the officials that took part in the Arena Lacrosse League this season. I know you weren't always met with compliments and presence, let's say.
From the present speaker.
You guys do an outstanding job, and we're glad to have you. And thank you very much, and we look forward to you returning to our league next year.
As we've said before, Lance, it's a thankless job. You're always 50% right or 50% wrong.
Yep, that seems to be the case. So power play now for the Riverwolves, as they've already notched 2 in this game but have struggled here in the second half. Pike took that shot, steered away, so a good save by Martin, tracked down by the speedy Lee. Lee will get it back out. They'll work it around one more time. You can see the box for the Shockwave spread well out. O'Brien now near the middle. He's clearing things out. Medeiros at the top. So a different look. Tough angle for the quick stick from Keane. Scooped up by Brooker Muir. Muir now. He gets it going. You could be in trouble. Brooker Muir now will get it over the timeline and look to dish it off. He does to DeMont.
Look at them spread the floor out. Look how wide the 4 guys on offense are.
Got to make it hard for the D now to find you, and Mitch DeMont doing a lot of the work there as he has the ball smothered. We're under a minute now in the power play opportunity. And that's a shot clock violation, which will give the ball to the Riverwolves. Still a 1-goal game here as Albicus will send it down to the right side, and the Riverwolves now will set things up one more time.
There's a situation where Riverwolves were 4-on-2 and they slowed the ball down and took it.
Pike probably should have taken that first shot. That one stopped, though, again by Martin. To Muir. Muir has Van der Zalm, who had a step, thought better of it, and peeled out. Sometimes you got to take the safe way, depending on where you are. And I'd say with 7 minutes to go, just over, it's money time right here. Muir with a fake.
Not just that, it's going to kill the penalty, too.
Tried to roll that in the far corner, and the rebound's corralled by Ward. Ward's going to try to get a shot off. That's well wide of the mark. It caroms, and right to Jonah Beam, who will send away Whitty.
That's the time you can't pull the ball out. You got to take that one to the net. You got to.
So the penalty over now. That power play opportunity is gone south of the border, and here now is Renault. He'll get it back out to Keane. Keane gets a screen, dumps it down low, looking in the middle. That ends up right in the pocket of Martin. A late hit on Spear will give possession back to the Riverwolves with a full clock to work with. Lee got a step, Henry on him, though. Henry covers a lot of ground quick. Had an outstanding semi. And here's Pike. Pike with O'Brien on him. Pike looking for a cutter. Spearhead was closed off. Lee now tries to go for the dunk. Shrugged off by Martin. Well done. And now here comes Jimerson.
If he'd come from the side instead of over the top, he had that in the net.
Jimerson will slow things down here and let the offense get out there on the floor. Wiles looking to a late cutting Becker, not able to field that cleanly. Picked up by Jamie McMahon. Good flip up, Minicello, and he'll work it up to Bean. Bean will race up there. 3-on-2. Bean to the trailer. Quinlan. Quinlan shot. Stopped. Outstanding try by their transition unit. Ball loose behind the net. Martin fishing for it. It pops out. LaPrade in there. Quinlan on him. LaPrade gets it and moves it up to Pedwell. Sorry, Corey Becker. Becker races by Albicus, gets it back out to Neufeld. Neufeld quickly kicks it out to Atwood. Dumps it off. Give and go. Good save by Clayton. Fresh clock here for the black and gold. Atwood. Big shot through a screen. Stopped by Clayton. Rolls and Clayton sweeps it just in time off the goal line. And a lob pass up to Quinlan. Has Atwood on him. Atwood hounds, and it's picked up by Tomas. So a great job of back checking by Atwood. Gives his team another look on offense as we're under 5 minutes here in the Arena Lacrosse League Championship Final. The All Cup on the line. Ward gets a screen, dumps it up. Patterson couldn't field that cleanly, and the Riverwolves will come away with it. Whitty dumps it off to McMahon. McMahon back to Whitty over the timeline, just in the nick of. Whitty hard hit by Gatt. Gatt has Whitty pinned on the boards. Good collective effort. Medeiros there almost had it, picked up. Good job by Desvo as he steers out of there with the ball. So good job, Ryan Desvo. Bounces off foot, bounce. A little too much bounce on the bounce, and that'll bounce us right into our final officials timeout.
Well, you better look for a real quick and energetic last 4 minutes of this game. And the next goal in this game is massive.
I think you're absolutely right there. Hats off to Jamie Dubrick and Chris Driscoll being able to execute their plan of attack to get them to within striking distance at the very least here with 4 minutes to go in the game. You also have to give credit over at the St. Catharines bench with Ron Henry and company, because they have weathered any storm that Paris has thrown at them. And maybe collectively it's not their most effective game of the season, but when you look at it, they've got a 1-goal lead 4 minutes away from hoisting something that eluded them last year by a goal, and that's the All Cup.
Well, you know as well as I do, they never ask how. How many?
You're absolutely right. Just like they never know who the runner-up is, they only remember the champ. So,
well, they might. It's like they said in Tin Cup. You might not remember who won the tournament or who came in second, but they'll always remember your 12.
Always chock full of something. So here we go now, and trotting up is Cody Ward. Ward. They'll start things on the left side. Shockwave, most potent offense in the league throughout the regular season. Battle in there, Albicus with Atwood. And coming out is Ward. To Atwood. Atwood in tight, rolls off one. Spin, trying to get the shot off. Can't, as he is triple teamed. And they finish the check and some. And Medeiros flips Lee. Speed under. Big save! What a save by Chase Martin. Man, oh man. That could have given the Shockwave the All Cup right there. Becker comes away. Nate Smith to the net, tiptoes, flips it. Atwood, stop! On the goal line by Clayton. Man, oh man.
That may have just saved the game right there.
Take me back to back because someone is saving someone else. Atwood trying to get away from Whitty, tries to tuck it in and does an extra tap as they were all over Atwood, I tell you. And the Riverwolves now. So bullets dodged at both ends. Pike now will bail out with LaPrade pressuring him. Riverwolves now. Pike gets it back. Quick pass, Lee. Lee looking for the underhand. He gets jumped. Moves out. Renault, big shot. Stopped by Martin. Martin now the outlet to Hopi. Expect Hopi to pull it out. Should be deliberate here. Take some time. Clock is on your side. We're inside 2.5. Shockwave 2.5 minutes away from hoisting the All Cup. The Riverwolves have to battle. Don't want to be second fiddle for the second straight year. Wiles, fresh clock, scoops up that rebound, and they'll be very deliberate this time here on offense. Neufeld. He'll swing it over to Patterson. Patterson has an opening. Big shot, steered aside easily by Clayton. Picked up by Pedwell. And another fresh clock for the Shockwave. Possession key here as they have made that extra effort for the loose ball. Becker! Oh. Josh Becker! How about that? You picked a fine time, young man, to step up and show up. His first of the game, 8-6, Shockwave.
There's only one way to say this. That came out of nowhere. What a rifle. Wow. Throughout this whole game, that's got to be one that Clayton's got to sit back and wish he had back. But, I mean, you got to give him credit. What a shot. He got every ounce of him into that shot.
But how can you credit the guy on the shot and then say Clayton would want that back?
Oh,
that's a BB overhand.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question.
Getting that back. Muir has his stick knocked away. Good effort. Burton taking it hard, dumps it low. Medeiros tries to slip it in. Stopped by Martin. 1.5 to go here. We're headed down the stretch. It's money time. 2-goal lead. Shockwave have possession. Expect them to work some real clock and just slow it down.
Control the ball. Control the ball.
Ward. Find Atwood. Atwood. Dump it back. Ward. 10 on the shot clock. Working one-on-one. On the run. Dumps it down. Looking for the quick stick. Hauled in. Neufeld takes a hack from Clayton. Throws it away. Goes over the timeline. Violation. And with 1:05 to go. Riverwolves. Dan Keene. We're into the last minute to play. There goes Clayton to the bench. 2 goals down. Renault will send it over to Keene. Keene to Renault. They need one here. Medeiros. Pike. Skip. Keene. Skip. Cole. Skip. No look. Pike stopped. Inside of 40 seconds. Pressure on. Forechecking. Clayton hustles back in. That's rifled down right into the stick of Caleb Wilds, and timeout is called by the Shockwave.
9 seconds difference in the shot clock and the game clock.
So 31.2 seconds on the clock. You're down 2. And I tell you, that Josh Becker goal is looming.
Oh, huge.
So large right here. Because, man, did he pick a fine time. So the Shockwave will have possession here. And you can expect the sure-handed Brooker Muir will handle the ball here.
Uh-oh.
And the 2 goalies, somehow, someway, just got into it. Chase Martin and Nolan Clayton.
Well, it looked like Martin was jawing at Clayton, and Clayton wasn't having any part of it.
I don't know if I just entered the Twilight Zone or what, but that really did just break out. So the fans are loving it. The goalies certainly don't ask, don't say they don't care, because everyone on both benches, they care. So now I don't know what you do. You've got a guy who has been unbelievable in the net here, holding the third-ranked team to just 6 goals throughout the game. And he's going to have to exit stage left. And Grant Crawley is going to have to close up this valuable 31 seconds.
I'm surprised he's still on the bench.
And it looks like Cameron Dunkerley is going to have to come out for the Riverwolves, although Paris has 6 out there with the empty net.
7. Well, you know what? You said it. Yeah, I mean, Martin's played unbelievable. By the same token, Clayton's played a great game as well, and he's kept them in when he's had to. Unfortunate on that last goal. It was a great shot. You can't take that away, but I'm telling you.
Listen, it's 8 goals. You've given up 8 goals in a lacrosse game championship. That's unbelievable, playing the entire game. So the question is, coincidental 5-minute majors, and out go both goaltenders. They've been ejected. And the 2 backups are in, and it's Josh Becker. So the flip there.
Yeah.
Well, the pressure, you got Thomas Whitty and Drew Quinlan right on Becker. So as soon as Becker touches that ball, he's going to get jumped. So expect some sort of screen to be set away from the play to allow a passing angle for Becker.
Or a shot angle at the empty net.
And that's the case. Neufeld on the pop-up. Give and go. Brooker Muir can't get it cleanly. Loose on the boards. Collision with Patterson. Incidental. Brooker Muir now, and they're going to call Patterson for a penalty. And that is going to give the Riverwolves another power play opportunity with 22 seconds to go.
Smart move, just go straight to the box. Don't worry about it. You got a 2-goal lead. Just go to the box and keep your mouth shut.
So Dunkerley is going to stay around the neutral zone, and Lee is going to get it up to Keene. Keene now, clock ticking down. Big shot, bounce shot wide of the mark. Goes up, Medeiros keeps it in the offensive end, back to Keene. Keene fakes one, gets around one, peels off a Muir, dumps it. Lee has to let it go. Stopped by Crawley. Picked up by Hopi. That could be it. That could be it. The Shockwave are going to hang on. The St. Catharines Shockwave are the 2019 Arena Lacrosse League champions. They have done it. They complete the feat. So an outstanding game that finishes 8-6 for the Shockwave. And as we get set for our trophy presentation, Blair Campbell, your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what. You can't take anything away from either one of these 2 goalies. They both stood on their head in this game. The Riverwolves did everything they could. They, like their coach said, we got nothing to prove, and I think they proved one heck of a lot right there. They played a good game, but you know what? The Shockwave were that little bit better.
And I think that was the case in point throughout the entire season. When you talk about the Shockwave, they were certainly the best team during the regular season. The question was whether or not they could find their groove here with the bye week, not having to play in the quarters. And they certainly proved that they deserve to be here. And they run the table going 2-0 to win this Arena Lacrosse League Cup, the 3rd annual Arena Lacrosse League Cup. And good sportsmanship, as you see. And before I give you your final thoughts, Blair, I want to just thank the Paris Riverwolves, who came in as clear underdogs in this game. You have to give them credit. Jamie Dubrick, Chris Driscoll, you had these guys in the right mindset. You had them buying into what you've done. You fought all season, the adversity you faced, the injuries you had to deal with. So to make it this far, hats off to the Paris Riverwolves. And when you look on the other side, you got to say Ron Henry, Roger Chrysler, Clancy Ames, man, oh man, you guys have done an outstanding job. So before we throw it over to the Arena Lacrosse League president, Mr. Paul St. John, we certainly will.
The only thing you can say out of the whole thing,
10,000 fans here tonight, they would fall in love with you guys. That was one heck of a lacrosse game, right down to the last 2 minutes. End-to-end action. The goalies decided to do something different at the end. But what a game. What a game. Paris, don't put your head down, I'll tell you. A lot of people, including myself at times, wrote you off. Jamie Dubrick, Chris Driscoll, and all you guys believed you had a chance to win today. And I'll tell you now, that team, I watched them on their bench, they were a little scared there at the end that you guys might pull it out. But St. Catharines, you guys were the best team this year, from start to finish. And the exciting thing for the Arena Lacrosse League is you guys were pushed to win. And that's what good teams do. They find a way to persevere in the end and be champions. Before we give you the All Cup, we do have an MVP. And for a couple of minutes there, we thought we might have lost him. But he's back, I think, somewhere. I see him. Chase Martin, come on up here. I don't have goalie gloves, but I do have a player registration for you as well. Yeah. I don't expect you back next year. You can transfer to another player and get the money for it, okay? I'll bring that to you later. Chase Martin, everybody. Mitch Dumont, Brooker Muir, Brian Neufeld. The All Cup is in St. Catharines' hands for 1 year. You can keep it, but you're going to have to win it again next year, because so far we've had 3 winners. And Paris, you're back-to-back finalists, so I expect you guys to work hard to get back again next year. All right? Can I have the 3 captains? Everybody, one last big round of applause for the champions and the runner-up, Paris Riverwolves. Congratulations, everybody.
There you have it, the 2019 Arena Lacrosse League champion, St. Catharines Shockwave. And Blair, before we go, I just want to get your final thoughts on this game and the season.
well, I think before I say anything, and first off, I know you're not going to believe this, but this is really hurting me to say. But I want to thank you for allowing me to work with you. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Lance.
I know how that was tough to get that out, but I actually like you too, so I'll take it as that, buddy. Good job on your part.
The other guys we got to thank are the two guys to either side of us here. Great job all year long. And as far as the game itself goes, nobody walks away from this game with their head down. That's one thing that Paul said out there, and 100% agree that both teams gave it everything they had. And you know, and when it comes down to the bottom line, all you want is A, the opportunity to win, and B, you want to make sure you give it your all. And both coaches should be able to walk into those dressing rooms and shake every one of those guys' hands because they did a great job.
I think you're absolutely right, and we're going to wrap things up here. But before I do, I want to thank my broadcast partner, of course, Blair Campbell, for tolerating me and all the jabs I've thrown at you through these telecasts, in particular the playoffs. But no,
water rolling off a duck's back.
Just because I like it, that's all it is. I'd certainly like to say front and center to our producer slash director slash play-by-play guy slash PA guy, and Matt Carrick, who did a great job doing a little everything for the Arena Lacrosse League this year. And, of course, to Gary Morrison, JVI Productions, Ryan also, Rachel, everyone else who chipped in and did an Arena Lacrosse League game. This, of course, will do it for us this season. I do want to thank, too, my wife, Carolyn, for allowing me to get out every weekend and do the games. My daughters, Kiki and Cameron, and, of course, my big-headed son, Austin. Thank you very much. And, of course, that will do it as it's a wrap. 2019 season in the books. We'll be back, of course, next season. It'll be season 4 in the Arena Lacrosse League. A big thank you to all our fans for their dedication and showing up each and every weekend to the games. We're going to sign off. I'm Lance Wynn. Have yourself a good night.
It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
We about to take off with the quick plays and the stick saves. Most entertaining since the old days. This is where the players mold all day. Growing the game with a bold take. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. Booming. Steelhawks.
What a finish! J.P. Healy! Boy, that's a highlight and a half. Dalty in the back of the net. The Riverwolves with a clean-cut breakaway. Minicello.
Live. JVI. That's kind of cool. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to take off. It's the ALL playoffs, and we about to
Big
take
save
off.
by Coop.
The Arena Lacrosse League playoffs on the JVI Sports Network.